The Commission for Gender Equality, the Human Rights Commission and the CRL Rights Commission all set to outline their response to what they call systemic failures in the justice system. Their update comes after the shock acquittal of Timothy Omotoso in a case that's brought into sharp focus the plight of gender-based victims in the country. The Commission is also expected to reveal their coordinated strategies for resolving these structural issues. Watching the story is SABC News senior reporter Chriselda Lewis, who joins us now ahead of that briefing. And Chriselda, I don't remember something like this ever taking place. One has to wonder what they'll say.
Well, that's right. Under the three organizations, the Commission for the Promotion and Protection of the Rights of Cultural, Religious and Linguistic Communities, the CRL Commission, as well as the Commission for Gender Equality, and the South African Human Rights Commission, as you correctly pointed out, they're also likely to express their dismay or add their voices to the verdict in the Timothy Omotoso trial, and also touch on the rape of the 7-year-old Matatiele girl. So regarding the Omotoso trial, in which Omotoso and his two co-accused, recall Lusanda Sulani as well as Zukiswa Sito, amongst the voices of concern, in addition to the public dismay, was Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Justice and Constitutional Development, which you'd recall had said that the outcome is very worrying, as the presiding judge in that matter, Judge Skuman, had criticized the state's cross-examination of the accused, describing it as poor quality. The Portfolio Committee, you'd recall, also saying it seems that the quality of the state's case and its cross-examination failed the complainants and the victims in this matter. So, also saying it was an assault on the fight against gender-based violence. The Portfolio Committee also saying it had needed answers from the National Prosecuting Authority to explain the weaknesses in the team and the case that they basically presented. So the Justice Minister, you'd also recall, also demanding answers, very much so like the Parliament's Portfolio Committee. Now, on the other issue relating to the rape of women and children, we've seen the public outrage that resulted from the rape in Matatiele, and there have been countrywide protests Ayanda, which we've been covering in condemnation. There have been calls for justice in that matter. Police have indicated that their investigations are continuing. A police delegation, you'd recall, had also been deployed there to investigate the matter. And, we understand that is still ongoing. So these three organizations today are expected to announce their plans, as you indicated, to address systemic, failures in the justice system. The countrywide outrage that we have seen was from members of the public also wanting answers. We saw the Justice Minister, as I indicated, also wanting answers from the National Prosecuting Authority about exactly what took place in this particular case, because what you run the risk of having take place, in particular in a country such as ours, where, victims of violence, would want to go to police stations and register their cases where they've been violated. Many of the voices that we've heard is of people saying, what would then be the point if this is to be the outcome? But of course, a trial itself is run, and it would be the onus on the state to prove the case that it is being brought before that particular court. I'm talking about now the Timothy Omotoso trial, but we had, a damning verdict that was given by the presiding judge, in which there was, a blatant, blasting of the manner in which the law enforcement agencies had done their work. So what we're expecting to hear from these three Chapter 9 institutions today is what should be done to address some of these systemic failures in the justice system. How does the confidence of the public again be restored, or not be waned any further than what we've seen happen on social media, in the public, some of the interviews that SABC News has done after that particular verdict in that particular matter. Also, calls for justice relating to the rape of the little girl in Matatiele. So many issues that need to be addressed, and I guess those that will speak here today, they will talk about what course of action they plan to take. And I can imagine that amongst the calls that will be made is for justice, I guess, in both of these matters, and many others, where South Africans feel that the justice system did not play its role.
Yep, one has to wonder what these particular institutions can do given their mandate to be the voice for the voiceless. Chriselda Lewis, live to us there from Johannesburg in the lead up to that briefing. Thanks very much indeed.